Hi, everyone. I am Tracy Knight. Thank you for joining me. I just wanted to go over a few things, top 10 running mistakes that I see, and I want to give you a little advice on each one of those mistakes. Now, I have been a runner for my entire life. I was a professional runner for 6 years. I have trained people, thousands of people, in this beautiful world of wellness. So I just wanted to take a moment and to help you out, and I hope this does. I see in marathons, and we're going to take marathons for this. So a lot of marathons opened up here recently for the fall events. And a lot of people go, I'm going to run a marathon in 6 months. I recommend a year of training, which is best. But let's say you just signed up and you're going, I am going to do a marathon. I am going to do a marathon. And then you start training, you're like, I'm doing a marathon. Why am I doing a marathon? It's 26 miles. Have I ever driven 26 miles? No. You know? So I have run hundreds of marathons for sure. I want to give you the first tip is not abiding by the 10% rule. The 10% rule. 1 mile is your first week. Let's start basics, okay? I don't care if you ran 5, 6 miles last week. We're talking basics. 1 mile, and then you go, I feel good today. I'm going to run 5. Not a good idea. Injury can occur. So instead, think of cross training while you're training and building that 1 mile up. And cross training is the second thing that I see people don't do. They just run. They just put on their shoes and they go out the door. I'm going to run a mile today. I'm going to run a mile today. You need to walk before you run. Another thing is that people do not warm up and they do not stretch. All right. One, not abiding by the 10% rule. Then, while you're building that 1 mile into the second mile, you want to cross train throughout the week. With that cross training, you're also lifting weights. That's number 3 that I see that people do not do. I do HIIT, Pilates, yoga, swimming, bike. Those are cross training. We're working small muscles, ab, core work, right? And larger muscles. Running, yes, you use larger muscles. However, the smaller muscles do support the larger muscles. We are a kinetic system, all right? It is important to know and not to forget that you also have nutrition as well. I do not recommend that you do a keto diet, fasting, all right, without medical advice. Now, if your physician is not on board with you fasting, then, very, very simple, you just don't do it. The thing being is that you need proper fuel in, so that you have proper fuel going out. You are a Lamborghini. Treat your body like a Lamborghini. Fuel your body like a Lamborghini. All right? Do not forget anti-inflammatory foods. I see a lot of people go, I'm running. I can eat whatever I want. I'm going to have some pizza, pancakes. Oh, yeah. And cool, but not every single day. You have to have a balanced meal. I would like it if you included anti-inflammatory foods. That would be wise. You have Italian foods. Italian foods are great. Oregano, rosemary, basil, all fennel. You have like the herbs, the mixed Italian herbs. Those have anti-inflammatory properties. Cloves, allspice, cinnamon. Those have anti-inflammatory properties. All right. I do mustard, turmeric, anti-inflammatory, ginger, anti-inflammatory, vinegar, anti-inflammatory. All right. Wonderful foods. I will do mustard prior to running, and that helps with lactic acid and inflammation. I chew turmeric root. It tastes like a spicy carrot, and I'll chew on that as a snack during the day. those are anti-inflammatory. Balanced meals are super important. I am 46 years old. I have my protein is now 3 times more than it was a couple of years ago. I have less carbohydrates, more fat, and I have collagen, etc. I to get to more protein that I need, I do protein shakes. There's a mixture, a bag of people that disagree with protein shakes, etc. I've been doing protein shakes my whole life. I haven't noticed the scary stories for myself in that. What I've seen, what the sludge it does, I do collagen powder and protein shake. And so I can get my 100 grams of protein every day. And because I have a fast, I'm a partner in a restaurant. I have businesses. I have a family. I have a daughter. I have, so I have a lot of people involved in my life and parents, and I have a lot to do. So not all the time can I like sit down and go, okay, I'm gonna have to count things. I don't have time to count things. So I have to literally go, okay, it's a protein shake today. And do I have like oat milk or cow's milk? I do oat milk or almond milk. Um, Sometimes I'll do milk. I do like a protein milk or what have you. Anyways, so nutrition is 80% of my day. I make sure I get it in. I'm a Lamborghini, you know, or Ferrari, whatever your favorite car is. But just remember, you're fueling yourself, and you're fueling yourself for a marathon. You're training yourself to be a machine, like literally a race car. So just remember that. The next thing you want to remember, and that I see that people don't do and maybe not know that it is a good idea, is meditate. Meditate your training. Meditate before you start training. See yourself. So in the morning, I will take, at least 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes, and I meditate what my day looks like. I have such a much better day and less stress when I meditate from start to finish what I see, how I see my day going. Yes, do things happen? Do things come out in the middle of nowhere? True, but I am able to stay grounded in that because I've seen myself go through my day and how to plan it. So I know how to pivot. And I will visualize myself riding my bike, doing my ab workout. What am I doing? And I'm just going over it in my mind. I also see myself on race day running the race, the shoes I'm wearing, what am I wearing? One of the things that I see a lot of times is that people wear just some old shoes. Your shoes have 400 miles on them. Make sure you go to a race store. Make sure you go to a running store, your local running store, specialty running shoes that specialize in running. Nothing against Dick's or Academy, but it's these smaller stores that have the privilege of going to your directly to like Brooks, Saucony, etc. And they are trained in the shoe specifically. All right. And they're not on the shelf for a long period of time. Just remember, it's rubber. The shoe is rubber. So over time, rubber does break down, right? You've seen an old car sit out there. Last time I checked, they don't have, some new shoes, so to speak, because they deteriorate, right? Well, that's what shoe is. So just remember, the shoe deteriorates, and you need 2 pairs of running shoes. And the reason for that is that you have training, and then you have training for running shoes. So you have your cross training shoe, which is going to be a little heavier, and then you have your race shoe that's going to be a little lighter, and that you'll introduce. So you'll get that 1 pair of running shoes, and then 3 months later, keep up with your mileage on the shoe. At 400 is the mile, and then make sure that you put on and get those new shoes in a little bit prior to. And what I do is I go back and forth between 2 pairs of shoes, and then I have my race day shoes as well. Now, that was kind of like a little added bonus there when when you're wanting to get ready for something, even though that was meditation, that also is equipment. The equipment is super important. Um, Gear, sports bra, women, please, really? We don't need to see around the world boobies, all right? And that hurts me to watch when I see women without the proper upper attire, and it's got to hurt your back. And then I see a lot of slumping over. I'll talk about in a video for women in regards to posture, as well as proper gear, your proper attire for your, if you're top heavy, and what I recommend. Stretching and warming up is another problem I see a lot. People do not do it, and that is a problem. They're like, they go, and they're out the door and they go, run. And they wonder why they're injured. And I'm going, you didn't warm up for 10 to 15 minutes. You warm up grapevines, get that static stretch, get that warm up stretch, go for a walk before you go for the run. All right. That's why I get on my bike for 15 minutes in the morning, and I get on the bike, get a good quick warm up in, do some core work, do some Pilates, do some warm up work here at the house before I'm even out the door. So I'm, 15, 20 minutes in a warm up piece before my 30-minute run. It's so important. I've also stayed injury free for a really long time. Like I have never been injured. Thank you. When I go out that door when running due to not warming up. Have I been injured? Yes, because I fell in a hole. The winds knocked me down. Some really weird stuff, but not from not stretching, not warming up. Hydrating. I see people collapse in front of me all the time. Their skin gets, really tight around the bone. They cannot see. Their hearing loss. That's dehydration. Scary. Another thing before, you have loose stool, which is dehydration. And make sure you hydrate. I say 96 fluid ounces at least. We're in the summertime right now, and it's imperative that you hydrate. You check yourself by weighing yourself before a run and when you go run, and then weigh yourself after the run. If you've gained weight, you drank too much water during your run. If you've lost weight, then you're not drinking enough water. Skin test, urine test. Is it clear? Drink, you've had too much. You need to dial it back a little bit. Have a little bit more electrolytes in the day. If it's orange, drink water. Okay, it's probably a hangover or something. You're so dehydrated. You have orange pee or that burnt orange looking stuff. Look, man, drink some water. Seriously, 2 miles. Add them to your 26.2. A lot of training methods are 20 and 22. That's why it is called hitting the wall. Running is a mental game. You have trained your body physically. You have trained your mind mentally. When you get out there and especially 18 miles in, you are talking to yourself. You are like, okay, I got this. Check in, body check. Okay, am I breathing? How's my steps doing? What's my cadence? And what's my mileage? What's my pace? You're asking questions, and you've got to have that check-in constantly. It is a mental game. I have gone through presidents of the United States. I've gone through states in the capitals to make sure I'm in frame. All right. Strong mind, strong body, go. But add 2 miles to your training. So before you taper off before race day, you have a life to live. You have kids to manage or raise. You got to walk to your car. So make sure that you are training. I recommend 26.2 plus 2 miles to your training before you taper off for race day. You'll thank me later. I've done it always. And to get faster, I've included bike. I've come off injury running 17-minute miles to having to get ready for a race and and I was able to at least decrease it by 10 minutes. When I went from, before I got picked up professionally, I went from a 9-minute mile, my first marathon, and within what, 4 months maybe, I was running 7 15-minute mile from training. And these are my training notes, okay? uh, Schedule and relationships. This is something else that people forget about. They forget about the relationships. It's about me, and I'm running, and it's my lifestyle. This is me, and I'm gonna be top dog or whatever. Thing is, you're running a race, okay? You're not curing cancer. So get in your mind that you do have other people in your life that are in your life, and you need to communicate your schedule, your race time, your, the money that you're spending on it with your spouse, because it's a new lifestyle change. When you change your life, you will notice that your friends will change. You'll notice that your relationship might change a little. So you do need to communicate what's going on. And it's running for me is therapy for me. That's why I do it so early in the morning, so that I am ready for the day. I've always been that way, but I've also had to raise a toddler. Therefore, I have to remember that I do have a family. So I have to run, like, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour and a half. That's a long run, let's say. Then I communicate to my partner, I have a run today, and I will start as early as possible, depending on the weather. Just communicate. Well, we have mom, and we have to do this on Sunday, and we have a brunch that we got to go to with our friends. You want to make sure you keep those friend relationships and just communicate, going, okay, that day might be a little different on your training route, okay, on your training piece. You might have to, you won't have alcoholic beverages at brunch. Alcohol does decrease the vitamin D in your body, so don't overdrink. If you do drink, you'll notice yourself to get up at 4:30 in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning to get that training in. You'll notice that your drinking habits will change. They just will. It's very difficult to have a hangover and go out in 90-degree heat and try to run. Okay, you have a headache. You're dehydrated. You're not fueling your body properly. If you want a little understanding of lifestyle and changes, relationships, drinking, etc., watch Brittany Runs a Marathon. I think you'll really enjoy it. It's a relatable piece. It's a relatable movie. I think it was on, I don't remember what streaming service it was on, but it's a great movie. I think it was on Max at one point. But I watch Rocky before races. I really get pumped up with some movies. And so I'm going to talk about coming soon the immunity caps, meaning I like to call them immunity caps. It's mushrooms. I'm going to make some mushroom dishes. I'm going to talk nutrition. I'm going to talk your mental game. I'm going to talk about also, so in the next one, it is a culinary piece. I'll explain everything about mushrooms and how I love mushrooms. And also brain exercises and physical exercises so that you can get going in a great way. I'm excited to be here with you. I hope this has helped. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and I will see you soon.